Well, where is she?
Where is who? What do you mean, Judge Gaffney? Sit down, won't you?
I mean your mother, Sophia Louise.
Wait, Judge Gaffney, you know where she is. She took Uncle Elwood out to the sanitarium.
I know that. Why did you call me at the club with a lot of hysteria? Couldn't even get what she was talking about, carrying on something fierce.
Mother carrying on. What about?
I don't know. She was hysterical.
That's strange. Did you find it? I'll be right up. They found it.
Who found what? What are we talking about?
Well, they're at the house of Uncle Elwood. I went out to the real estate office to put the house on the market. And what do you think I found there?
I'm not a quiz kid.
There was a man there who was looking for an old house just like this to cut up into buffet apartments. He's going through it now.
Now, see here, Mermaid, this house doesn't belong to you. It belongs to your Uncle Elwood.
But now that Uncle Elwood is locked up, Mother controls the property, doesn't she?
Where is your mother? Where's Sophia Louise?
Judge, she went out to Tony's rest to tell them about Harvey and to lock Uncle Elwood up.
Why did she call me when I was in the middle of the game and scream at me to make her hear about something important?
I don't know. I simply don't know. Have you got the Deacon's house?
Certainly, it's in my safe. Myrtle, I feel pretty bad about this thing locking Elwood up.
Mother and I will be able to take a long trip now. Out to Pasadena.
I was like that boy. He could have done anything, been anything, made a place for himself in the community.
And all he did was get a big rabbit.
He had everything. Brains, personality, friends. Men liked him. Women liked him. I liked him.
Are you telling me that once Uncle Elwood was like other men, that women actually liked him? I mean, in that way?
Not since he started running around with this big rabbit, but they did once. Once that mailbox with your grandmother's was filled with those little blue scented envelopes for
I can't believe it.
Of course, there was always something different about him.
I don't doubt that.
Yes, he was always so calm under any sudden change in plans. I used to admire him. I should have been suspicious. Take your average man looking up and seeing a big white rabbit, he'd do something about it. Not Elwood. He took that calmly too and looked where it got.
You don't dream how far overboard he's gone with this rabbit.
Oh, yes, I do. He's had that rabbit in my office many's the time. I'm old, but I don't miss much. That noise.
The perspective bar on the third floor. Mother, look, Judge.
Sophia Louise, what's wrong, girl?
I never thought I'd see either of you with that. Take over, Judge. She looks like she's gonna faint. No, Mother, you're all right. You're gonna be perfectly all right.
Steady, steady, girl, steady.
Please, not so fast.
Don't rush her, ease her in.
Let me sit down. Will you find me some place where I can sit down?
You are.
Oh, the gas bill. Oh my.
Do you want some tea, Vita? Get her some tea, Mother.
I'll get you some tea, Mother. Get her coat off, Judge.
Let her get your coat off. Get her coat off.
Leave me alone. Let me sit here. Let me get my breath. I gotta get a breath, Judge. Let me sit here a moment. Then let me get upstairs to my own bed where I can let go. What happened to you, Mother? Oh, Mother. I want you to sue them. They put me in and let Elwood out. What's this? Just look at my hair. Why? What did you say? What did you do? You must have done something. I didn't do one thing. I simply told them about Elwood and Harvey.
But how could it happen to you? I don't understand it.
I told them about Elwood, and then I went down to the cab to get his things. As I was walking along the path, this awful man stepped out. He was a barbarian, I know he was. He had on one of those white suits, that's how they advertised. A man? What did he do, Mother? What did he do? He took hold of me and took me in there, and then he...
What did he do, Vita?
Poor Mother. Was he a young man?
Myrtle, May, I think it's best you leave the
But
room.
now I should say not. Go on, Mother.
Go on, Vita, please.
He took me upstairs and pulled my clothes off. Oh, did you hear that, Judge? Go on, Mother.
My God, I'm suing for this.
And then he sat me down in a tub of water. I always thought that when you wear a shirt on your face. Don't you believe it, Judge? Don't you believe it, Myrtle? This man took hold of me like I was a woman of the streets. But I fought. I always said that if a man jumped at me, I'd fight. Haven't I always said that, Myrtle? She's always said that, Judge. That's what she's always told me to do. And then he hustled me into that sanitarium and sat me down in that tub of water and began treating me like I was a what? A crazy woman! And he did that just for spite.
I'll be damned.
And then those doctors came upstairs and asked me a whole lot of questions all about sex urges and all that filthy stuff. That place ought to be cleaned up, or you better get the authorities to clean it up, or don't you ever go out there, you hear me?
said I had to be. By God, it's Dennis.
You've got to do something about it, Judge. You've got to sue them.
I will, girl. By God, I will. If Chumley thinks he can run an unsavory place like this on the outskirts of town and be publicly chastised, by God, I'll run him out of the state.
Tell me, Judge, is that all those doctors do at places like that? Think about sex?
I don't know.
Because if it is, they ought to be ashamed of themselves. It's all in their heads anyways. Why don't they go out for long walks in the fresh air? Judge Gaffney walked everywhere for years, didn't you, Judge?
And let me take some notes on this. Those doctors who took you in, Dr. Chumley and what was the other doctor's name?
Sanderson. But Judge, don't you pay any attention to anything he tells you. He's a liar, close-set eyes that always liars. Besides, I told him something in strictest confidence and he blabbed it.
What did you tell him, Mother?
What difference does it make? Let's forget it. I don't even want to talk about it. You can't trust anybody.
Anything you told this Dr. Sanderson, you can tell us, Louise. This is your daughter, and I am your lawyer.
I know which is which. I don't want to talk about it. I want to sue them and I want to get in my own bed. Mother, this is the important thing anyway. Where is Uncle Elwood? Should have known better than to try to do anything about him. Something protects him, that awful hookah. Where is Uncle Elwood? Answer me. How should I know? They let him go. They're not interested in men in places like that. Don't act so naive, little man. What's that noise? I found a buyer for the house. What? Listen, Mother, no matter who jumped at you, we've still got to lock up Uncle Elwood. I don't know where he is. The next time you take him, Judge, wait until Elwood hears what they did for me. He won't stand for it. Don't forget to sue them, Judge. A murder man. All I hope is that we never get here as long as you live. I'm going to pull some clothes off you and dump you down into a tub of water. Now see, Mother muffs everything. No matter what happened out there, Uncle Elwood is still wandering around with Harvey.
The thing for me to do is take some more notes.
It's all Uncle Elwood's fault. He found out what she was up to, and he put her in. Then he ran.
Oh no, don't talk like that. Your uncle thinks the world of all of your mother. Ever since he was a little boy, he always wanted to share everything he had with her.
I'm not giving up. We'll get detectives. We'll find him. And besides, you better save some of that sympathy for me and Mother. You don't know what we have to put up with. Just wait till I show you something he brought home about 6 months ago, and we hid it out in the garage. You just wait.
I'm going up to talk to Vita. There's more in this than she's letting on.
Just wait till I show you, Judge.
Fine, I'll wait.
Okay. Is he here?
Wait, what's this?
That crackpot with the rabbit. Is he here?
No, who may I ask are you?
No, this guy. Not here, Doctor. Okay. Dr. Shumley's coming in anyway. What was your name?
Chumley. Well, I've got something to say to him.
What's your name? Let's have it.
I am Chumley Gaffney. Where's Chumley?
The reason I asked your name is the doctor always likes to know who he's talking to. Dr. Shumley. This guy says his name is Judge Gaffney.
Well, Chumley.
Good evening, Judge. Let's not waste time. Has he been here?
I wouldn't know. But see here, Doctor.
You sure he ain't been in? He's wise now. He's hiding. It'd be an awful job to smoke him out.
It will be more difficult, but I'll do it. They're sly and they're cunning, but I get them. I always get them. Have you ever listened to the places I've been victims?
Right there, Doctor.
Read it.
We've been to 17 bars, Eddie's Place, Charlie's Place, Bessie's Barn Dance, the 4th Avenue Firehouse, the 10th and 12th and 9th Avenue Firehouses, just to make sure, the Union Station, and the grain elevator. Say, why does this guy go down to the grain elevator?
Foreman is a friend of his. Happens to have many friends. Many places.
I've stopped by here to ask Mrs. Simmons if she has any suggestions as to where we might look for him.
Doctor, I have to inform you that Mrs. Simmons has retained me to file a suit against you.
What?
What's happened to her at the sanitarium this
A suit?
Well, we're on that subject.
Well, ain't that pretty, Doctor? After us dragging your tail all around town trying to find that guy.
What happened this afternoon was an unfortunate mistake. I've already discharged my assistant committee, and I'm prepared to take charge of this man's case personally. It interests me. And my interest in the case is something going on with you can ask him.
But this business is like a new
Why
job.
under the day? Here's how I see this thing. The important thing is to get that man down and that's in the sanitarium where he belongs.
That's right, Judge. That's just what I think.
Let me introduce Miss Myrtle May Simmons. This is Simmons' daughter, Mr. Dowd's niece.
How do you do, Dr. Cholmondeley?
You do, Miss Simmons.
Well, hello, Myrtle May.
What? Oh, hello.
Now, let me talk to Mrs. Simmons.
She won't go down, Doctor. I know she won't. You try to get her to talk to him, Judge.
See here, your mother was manhandled. She was, God knows what she was. The man's approach to her was not professional. It was personal.
This is a serious charge.
Dr. Chumley, I've been with you for 10 years. Are you really going to believe... What was his name again?
Gaffney, Judge Omar Gaffney.
Yeah, thanks. You take the word of this old blister Garrison. Me and a dame who sees a rabbit.
It's not Mrs. Simmons who sees a rabbit. It's her brother.
Yes, it's Uncle Elwood.
You'll come with me, Doctor.
Very good, Judge. Wilson, I have a situation. Wait for me.
Okay, doctor. So, your name's Myrtle May?
Oh, yes.
Before you grab your uncle, you liable to be coming out to the sanitarium on visiting days?
Oh, I don't really know.
Well, if you do, I'll be there.
You will? Oh.
And if you don't see me right away, don't give up. Stick around. I'll show
You will? Oh.
up. You were Dr. Shirley tell me to wait?
Yeah.
Tell you what, while I'm waiting, I sure could use a sandwich and a cup of coffee.
Certainly. If you forgive me, I'll precede you into the kitchen.
You're alright, Myrtle May. Dr. Chumley noticed it right away. You don't miss a trick. I'll tell you something else too, Myrtle May.
What?
You not only got a nice build, but kid, you got something else too.
What?
You got the screwiest uncle who ever stuck his puss inside our nut house.
Hello, Chumley's Rest. Is Dr. Chumley in? Oh, it's Mrs. Chumley. This is Elwood P. Dowd speaking. How are you tonight? Tell me, Mrs. Chumley, were you able to locate Harvey? Don't worry about it. I'll find him. I'm sorry I missed you at the McClure cocktail party. The people were all charming, and I was able to leave quite a few of my cards. I waited until you phoned and said you couldn't come out because a patient had escaped. Where am I? I'm here. But I'm leaving right away. I must find Harvey. Well, goodbye, Mrs. Chumley. My regards to you and anybody else you happen to run into. Goodbye.
Doctor, you might as well go home and wait. I'm suing you for $50,000
Mrs. Simmons.
Yes? Well, all right.
This picture over your mantel.
That portrait happens to be the pride of this house.
Well, who painted it?
Oh, some man, I forget his name. He was around here for the sittings, and then we paid him, and he went away. Hello? Yes. No, this is Dexter 1567.
I suppose if you have the money to pay people, you can persuade them to do anything.
Well, Dr. Chumley, when you helped me out of the tobacco place, what did I say to you?
You express yourself. I don't remember the words.
I said, Dr. Chumley, this is a belated civility. Isn't that what I said?
You said something of the sort.
You brought this up. You might as well learn something quick. I took a course in art last winter. The difference between a fine oil painting and a mechanical thing like a photograph is simply this. A photograph shows only the reality. A painting shows not only the reality, but the dream behind it. It's our dreams that keep us going, that separate us from the beasts. Why, I wouldn't even want to live if I thought I was just eating and sleeping and taking off my clothes and putting them back on again. Oh, doctor, hold me! Oh!
Relax. Everything's all right. Now, tell me, what is the matter?
Doctor, that is not my mother!
I'm glad to hear that.
Oh, Doctor, Ellen's been here, he's been here!
Better be quiet. I'll take it. Hello? Yes, who's calling? Miss Simmons, it's your brother.
Oh, let me talk to him.
Don't tell him I'm here. Be casual.
Hello, Edward. Where are you? What? Oh, just a second. He won't say where he is. He wants to know if Harvey is here.
Tell him Harvey is here.
But he isn't.
Tell him Harvey is here and that will bring him here, perhaps. You have to hear me.
Yes. Elwood, yes, dear. Harvey is here. Why don't you come home? Well, all right. It won't work. He says to call Harvey to the telephone.
Say Harvey is here, but he can't come to the telephone. Say he's in the bathtub.
The bathtub?
Say he's in the bathtub, and then we'll send him over there when he's ready. We will find out where he is.
Oh, doctor.
You've got to do this, Mrs. Simmons.
Hello, Elwood. Yes, dear. Harvey is here. But he can't come to the telephone. He's in the bathtub. I'll send him over as soon as he's dry. Where are you? Where, Elwood?
Did he hang up?
He says Harvey just walked in the door. He says to look in the bathtub. It must be a stranger. But I know where he is. He's at Harvey's place. That's a bar over on 12th and Main.
12th and Main. That's 2 blocks down and 1 over, isn't it?
Doctor, where are you going?
I'm going over there and get your brother and bring him to the sanitarium where he belongs.
Don't do that, Doctor. I'm warning you. Send one of your attendants.
But Mrs. Simmons, if I am to help your brother...
He can't be helped. There's no help left for him. He must be picked up and locked up and left.
Do you consider your brother a dangerous man?
Dangerous?
Why?
I won't tell you why, but if I didn't, why would I be asking for a permanent commitment for him?
Then I must observe this man. I must watch him as he speaks to his rabbi. He does speak to his rabbi, you say.
They tell each other everything.
What's that?
I said, of course he talks to him. But don't go after him, Doctor. You'll regret it if you do.
Nonsense. You underestimate me, Mrs. Simmons.
Oh, no, Doctor. You underestimate my brother.
Not at all. Don't worry, Anna. I'll be fine.
You'll be fine. That's what you think. Myrtle Lane! Look who's in the bathtub! Oh.
Thank you. I'll call you back
How about the stuff in your room, Doctor? Upstairs?
All packed. Thanks, Wilson.
Tough to get bounced. I had you pegged for the one who make the grade.
Those are the breaks.
What do you take off?
As soon as Dr. Chumley gets back.
Kelly, did you get a report back yet from the death sergeant in the police accident bureau?
Not yet. I just called the downtown dispensary and they said they hadn't seen anything.
It's beginning to smell awful funny to me. 4 hours he's been gone and not a word from him. Dr. Sanderson, I may never see you again, so I just wanted to say, I wish you a lot of luck. And I'm mighty sorry you got a kick in the ass for it.
Thanks, Wilson. Good luck to you today.
And Kelly, let me know when you hear from the death sergeant again. If there's no sign of the doctor, I'm going into town and looking for him. He should know better than to go after a psycho doctor.
I'd like to help look for the doctor too, Wilson.
That's swell of you, doctor. Right after you give you the brush.
I've no resentment against Dr. Chumley. He was right. I was wrong. He's the biggest man in the field. It's my loss not to be able to work with him.
You're not so small yourself, doctor.
Thanks, Wilson.
Don't mention it.
Dr. Sanderson.
Yes?
Well, Doctor, I'd like to say that I wish you a lot of luck too, and I'm sorry to see you go.
Are you sure you could spare these good wishes, Miss Kelly?
Well, on second thought, I guess I can't. Never mind.
You know what? This is for nothing. Just a little bit of advice. I'd be a little careful if I were you about who I spent my time with.
I beg your pardon?
You don't have to. I told you it was free. Now, I saw you Saturday night, dancing with that chick down in the Rose Room at the Frontier Hotel.
Oh, did you? Well, I didn't notice you.
I'd be a little careful of him, Kelly. He looked to me like a schizophrenic, all the way across the floor.
You really shouldn't have minded him, Doctor. He's my date, not yours.
That was his mentality. The rest of him, well...
But she was beautiful.
Who?
That girl you were with?
I thought you'd been nervous.
Well, you bumped into us twice. How can I help it?
Not that it matters to you, but that girl's a charming little lady. She has a sweet, kind disposition. And she knows how to conduct herself.
Funny, she could have rated better than on a Saturday night.
And she has an excellent mind.
Why don't she use it?
Oh, I don't suppose you're about to censor that flipping hard shut your mouth. I bet you're compensating for something.
I am not. Don't use any of your psychiatry on me.
Oh, you forgot to try just one other thing on him. Just once. Just to see if you melt under any circumstances. I doubt it.
You'll never see it, Doctor.
Because you interest me as a case history. That's all. I'd like to know where you get that inflated ego. Oh, don't run away. Let's finish it.
Leave me alone!
Black.
Chumley's worst. No, Sergeant, no sign of him either in town or the suburbs. Look, Sergeant, maybe we could just... Oh, never mind, they're here now. Mr. Dow.
Good evening, my dear. These are for you.
Oh, for me, thank you.
They're quite fresh, too. I just picked them outside.
Well, you better not let Dr. Chumley see you. These are his prize dahlias.
Speaking of Dr. Chumley, did he go upstairs?
Not knowing, I cannot state. Those colors are lovely against your hair.
Oh, thank you. I've never worn this shade of pink before. It is such a trying color.
You would improve any color, my dear.
Thank you. Did Dr. Chumley go home?
I don't know. Where's Dr. Sanderson?
In his office, right there.
Thank you. Now, there you are. I have a cab waiting outside. If it's possible for you and Miss Kelly to get away now.
Where is Dr. Chumley?
Is he coming with us? That's nice. I must apologize for being a few seconds late. I thought Miss Kelly should have some flowers. After what happened out here this afternoon, those flowers should really be for you, Doctor. As you grow older and pretty women pass you by, you will think with deep gratitude of these generous girls of your youth. Shall we go now?
Just a moment out. The situation has changed since you were out here this afternoon. But I urge you have no resentments. Dr. Chumley's your friend. He only wants to help you.
That's very nice of him. I would like to help him too.
If you would begin by taking a cooperative attitude, that's half the battle. We all have to face reality down, sooner or later.
Doctor, I wrestled with reality for 40 years, and I'm happy to say I finally won out. Won't you and Miss Kelly join me down at Charlie's?
Here you are, upstairs, buddy. We're going upstairs. Is the doctor okay?
There must be some mistake. Miss Kelly and Dr. Sanderson and I are going downtown for a drink. I would be glad to have you come with us, Mr.
Wilson.
Wilson! And have a wonderful floor show.
Yeah? We'll wait till you see the full show we've got ready upstairs.
Wait, just a minute, Wilson. Where did you say Dr. Chumley went out?
As I said, he did not confide his plan to me.
You mean the doctor ain't showed up yet?
Not yet.
Well, where is he?
That's what we're trying to find out.
Mr. Dow came in here by himself.
Oh, he did, eh? Listen, you talk fast or I'm working you over.
I'd rather you didn't do that. And I'd rather you didn't even mention such a thing in the presence of a lovely young lady like Miss Kelly.
Mr. Dow, Dr. Chumley went into town to pick you up. That was 4 hours ago.
Where has the evening gone to?
Listen to that! Smart, eh?
Just a minute, Wilson. Did you see Dr. Chumley tonight?
Yes, I did. He came into Charlie's at dinner time. It is a cozy spot. Let's all go down there and talk it over with the tall one.
We're going no place. Now I'm asking you a question, and if you don't button up your lip and give me some answers, I'm gonna beat it out of you.
What you suggest is possible.
What's that?
You suggest that I button up my lip, give you some straight answers. It can be done.
Let me handle this, Wilson.
We'll handle it then, but find out where the doctor is.
Dr. Chumley did come into Charlie's place, you said.
Yes, he did, and I was very glad to see him.
Go on.
He had asked for me, and naturally, the proprietor brought him over and left him. We exchanged the conventional greetings. I said, "How do you do, Dr. Chumley?" And he said, "How do you do, Mr. Dow?" I believe he said that at least once.
Okay. Okay.
I'm trying to be factual. I then introduced him to Harvey.
To who?
A big white rabbit, 6 feet tall.
6 feet?
6 feet 1.5.
Okay. Fool around with him, and the doctor's probably someplace bleeding to death in a ditch.
Those were his plans for the evening. He did not tell me.
Go on, Dow.
Dr. Chumley sat down at the booth with us. I was seated on the outside, like this. Harvey was seated on the inside, against the wall. And Dr. Chumley was seated directly across from Harvey, where he could look at him.
That's right. Spend all night on the seating arrangements.
Harvey then suggested that I buy him a drink. Knowing that he does not like to drink alone, I suggested to Dr. Chumley that we join him.
And so,
We joined him.
go on.
We joined him again.
And then what?
We kept right on joining him.
Skip all the joining.
You are asking me to skip a large portion of the evening.
Tell us what happened. Come on, please.
Dr. Chumley and Harvey got into a conversation, quietly at first. Later, it became rather heated, and Dr. Chumley raised his voice.
Yeah? Why?
Harvey seemed to feel that Dr. Chumley should assume part of the financial responsibility of the joining, but Dr. Chumley didn't seem to feel that way.
Oh, I can believe that part of it.
Let him talk. See how far he'll go. This guy's got guts.
I then agreed to take the whole thing because I didn't want any trouble. We go there quite often, Harvey and I. The proprietor is a fine man, an interesting approach to life. Then the other man came up.
Cut the damn double talk and get on with it.
Mr. Wilson, you are a sincere type of person, but I must ask you not to use that language in the presence of Miss Kelly.
You're right, Dad, and we're sorry. You say the other matter came up?
There was a beautiful blonde woman, Mrs. Smetters, and her escort seated in the booth across from us. Dr. Chumley sat down next to her, explaining to her that they had once met in Chicago. Her escort escorted Dr. Chumley back to Harvey and tried to point out that it would be better for him to mind his own affairs. Does he have any?
Does he have any what?
Does he have any affairs?
Well, how would I know?
Please hurry, Mr. Dowd. Please, we're all so worried.
Dr. Chumley then urged Harvey to go with him to Blondie's Chicken Inn. Harvey wanted to go to Eddie's instead. While they were arguing about it, I went to the bar to order another drink, and when I came back, they were gone.
Where'd they go? I mean, where'd the doctor go?
I don't know. I had a date out here with Dr. Sanderson and Miss Kelly, and I came out here to pick them up, hoping that later we might run into Harvey and the doctor and make a party of it.
So, you're satisfied? You got your story. Okay, you're lying and you know it.
I never lied, Mr. Wilson.
You've done something with the doctor, and I'm finding out what it is. Don't touch him, Wilson!
Maybe he's not lying, Wilson.
That's all this guy is! A bunch of lies! I mean, you don't believe the story he tells about the doctor sitting there, talking to a big white rabbit, do ya?
Well, maybe Dr. Chumley was at Charlie's place.
And saw a big rabbit, I suppose.
Hey, why not? Harvey was there. At first, the doctor seemed a little frightened of Harvey, but that gave way to admiration as the evening wore on. The evening wore on. That's a nice expression. With your permission, I'd like to say it again. The evening wore on.
With your permission, I'm gonna knock your teeth out your throat.
Mr. Wilson, haven't you some old friends you can go play with?
The nerve of this guy. He couldn't come at him with an ordinary case of the DT's, no. He has to come at him with a 6-foot rabbit.
Stimulating as all this is, I really must be getting downtown.
Hello? Charlie's place? Hi. Is Dr. Chumley anywhere down there? He came there with Mr. Dowd earlier. What?
Oh, well, don't bite my head off about it.
Ooh. My, that man was mad. He said Mr. Dowd was invited back at any time, but his friends were not.
That's Mr. McNulty, the bartender. He thinks a lot of me. Now, let's all go down there and have a drink.
Wait a minute.
Mr. Dowd.
Yes, my dear. May I hold your hand?
Well, if you wish, yes. Mr. Dowd, poor Mrs. Chumley is so worried. Can't you tell us anything? Anything to soothe her mind?
For you, I would do anything. I'd almost be willing to live my whole life for her again. Almost. But I've told it all.
Are you positive?
Quite. But ask me again anyway, won't you? I liked that warm tone you had in your voice.
So did I.
Oh! Nuts!
What?
Nuts!
Oh, I must be going. I have things to do.
Mr. Dowd. What do you do exactly?
Harvey and I sit in bars and have a drink or two and play the jukebox. Soon, the faces of the other people turn towards mine and smile. They're saying, "We don't know your name, mister, but you're a lovely fellow." Harvey and I warm ourselves in all these golden moments. We've entered as strangers We have friends. They come over to us. They sit with us. They drink with us. They talk to us. They tell about the big, terrible things they've done. The big, wonderful things they will do. Their hopes, their regrets, their loves, their hates, all very large because nobody ever brings anything small into a bar. And then I introduced them to Harvey. And he is bigger and grander than anything they offer me. When they leave impressed. These same people seldom come back, but that's envy, my dear. There's a little bit of it in the best of us. Too bad, isn't it?
How did you happen to call him Harvey?
Harvey is his name.
Well, how do you know that?
That was rather an interesting coincidence, Doctor. One night, several years ago, I was walking early in the evening along Fairfax Street, between 18th and 19th. You know that block?
Yes.
I had just put Ed Hickey into a taxi. Ed had been mixing his rye with his gin, and I felt he needed a little conveying. I started to walk down the street when I heard a voice saying, "Good evening, Mr. Dow." I turned, and there was this great white rabbit leaning against the lamppost. Well, I thought nothing of that, because when you've lived in a town as long as I've lived in this one, you get used to the fact that everybody knows your name. Naturally, I went over to chat with him. He said, "Ed Hickey was a little stiff this evening, or could I be mistaken?" Well, of course he was not mistaken. I think the world of him bed. He was stiffed. Well, anyway, we talked for a while, and finally I said, "You have the advantage of me. You know my name, and I don't know yours." Right back at me, he said, "What name do you like?" Well, I didn't even have to think a minute. Harvey has always been my favorite name. So, I said, "Harvey." And this is the interesting part of the whole thing. He said, "What a coincidence. Harvey happens to be my name."
What was your father's name, Dad?
John Frederick.
Dad, when you were a child, you had a playmate, didn't you? Someone with whom you could spend any long, happy, carefree hours?
Oh, yes, Doctor. Didn't you?
What was his name?
Vern McElhenney. Did you ever know the McElhenneys, Doctor?
No.
That's a shame. There were a lot of them, and they circulated. Wonderful people.
I need you to think carefully. Wasn't there ever somebody, somewhere, sometime, whom you knew by the name of Harvey? Wasn't there ever?
No, Doctor. Not at all. Maybe that's why I always had such hopes for it.
Okay. We'll take Mr. Dad upstairs now, Wilson.
I'm taking him nowhere. You've made this your show, you run it. Letting him sit here, forgetting all about Dr. Chumley. This is your show, you run it.
Come on, Dad. Come on, Dad.
Very well, Lyman. But I'm afraid I can't visit with you for long. I've promised Harvey I'll take him to see the floor show.
Oh boy. Dr. Chumley, are you alright?
All right? Of course I'm all right. I'm being followed. Lock that door.
Well, who's following you?
None of your business.
How'd you get out of here, Doctor? I just saw you going in.
I went out through the window. Wilson, don't leave me.
No, Doctor.
Get that man down out of you.
Yes, Doctor.
Don't leave me. But you said something on the telephone.
Yes, Doctor. Don't give that guy down close and get him down here right away.
Don't leave me, Wilson.
Just a minute, Doctor. Judge Gaffney.
I need to speak with Dr. Chung. It's important.
No, not in there.
The doctor doesn't want you in his office.
No, sir.
Sit down, Dr. Chung. Sit down, old lady.
Sit down, Dr. Chu. Sit down, little lady. Wilson, don't leave me.
Now, Chung, here are my notes. The facts. Can everybody hear me?
Yeah, we can all hear you. Is that good?
Now, Chung, has it ever occurred to you there might be something like this rabbit market?
Certainly not. And anyone who thinks so is crazy. Well, don't look at me like that. There's something funny about me. I'm like my father's family. They're all dead.
Now then, my client, the plaintiff, Mrs. Vita Louise Simmons, under oath, swears that on the morning of November 2nd, while standing in the kitchen of her home, hearing her name called, she turned and saw this great white rabbit Marvin. He was staring at her. Resenting the intrusion, the plaintiff made certain remarks and drove the creature from the room. He left.
Well, what did she say to him?
She was emphatic. The remarks were unimportant.
I want to know how she got that creature out of her sanitarium. I mean, her home.
I hate to have you tell him, Judge. It isn't a bit like a mother.
Oh, quit stalling. Let's have it.
She looked him right in the eye and exclaimed with the heat of anger, "To hell with you!"
To hell with you. He left?
Yes, he left, but that's not the point. The point is it perjury, or is it something we can cope with? I ask for your opinion.
Ruthie, I've been looking all over for you.
Dr. Sanderson, disregard what I said this afternoon. I want you on my staff. You are a very astute man.
Oh, Lemon, did you hear
Oh,
that?
baby!
We'll see you later. Just got to keep a little bit out here, Doctor.
No, I want the sanitarium the way it was before that man came here this afternoon.
I know what you mean.
You do?
Well, it certainly gets on anyone's nerves the way a Wellwood knows what's going to happen before it happens. This morning, for instance, he told us that Harvey told him that Mrs. McGillney's Aunt Rose was going to drop in on her unexpectedly tonight from Cleveland.
And did she?
Did she what?
Aunt Rose, did she drop in just as Harvey said she?
Oh yes, those things always turn out the way Wellwood says they will. But what of it? What do we care about the McGillneys?
And you say this sort of thing happens often?
Yes, and isn't it strange? Uncle Owen says Harvey tells him everything. Harvey knows everything. How could he when there's no such thing as Harvey?
Fly specks. I spent my life on fly specks when there have been miracles on the corner of 18th and Fairfax this whole time.
Good. Nobody here but people. Mother, you promised you wouldn't come out here. Well, good evening. Now, May, I brought Elwood's bathroom. Well, why are you all just sitting here? I thought you'd be committing here.
Sit down there, girl.
I will not sit down there.
How about you and me stepping out Saturday night, Myrtle May?
Certainly not. Myrtle May, come here. I'm sorry. Is everything settled?
It will be soon.
Doctor, may I give an opinion?
Yes, please, by all means.
His opinion? Oh, Myrtle, he's the doctor I told you about. The eyes.
Doctor, it's my opinion that Elwood Dowd is suffering from a third-degree hallucination, and the other party concerned is the victim of autosuggestion. I recommend shock formula number 977 for him and bed rest at home for her.
You do?
That's my diagnosis. Mr. Dowd will not see this rabbit after the injection. We've used it in hundreds of psychopathic
Don't
cases.
you call my brother a psychopathic case? There's never been anything like that in our family.
If you didn't think Uncle Elwood was psychopathic, then why did you bring him out here?
Where else could I take him? I couldn't take him to jail, could I? Besides, this is not your uncle's fault. Why did Harvey have to speak to him in the first place? With a town full of people, why did he have to bother Elwood?
Stop putting your oar in. Keep your oar out. If this shock formula brings people back to reality, give it to him. That's where we want Elwood.
Doctor, I'm not so sure this kind of treatment would work in a case like this.
It always has.
Harvey always follows Elwood home.
It does?
Yes. But if you give him the formula and Elwood doesn't see Harvey, he won't let him in. Then when he comes to the door, I'll deal with him.
Mother, won't you stop talking about Harvey's if there was such a thing?
Myrtle May, you've got a lot to learn, and I hope you never learn it.
Shh, here he is.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening, Elwood. I brought your bathrobe.
Oh, thank you, Vita.
What are we going to do, Doctor? We've got to do something.
Oh, yes, we must.
Should say so.
Yes, it's imperative.
Well, while you're making up your minds, why don't we go down to Charlie's and have a drink?
No, Elwood, you're not going anywhere. You're staying here.
Yes, Uncle Elwood. Stay here, son.
I plan to leave. You guys want me to stay. An element of conflict in any discussion is a good thing. It means everybody's taking part. Nobody's left out. I like that. Oh, how did you get along with Harvey, Doctor?
Shh, waiting for your answer, Doctor.
What?
What is your decision?
I must be alone with this man. Well, will you all step into the other room? I will have my diagnosis in order.
Do hurry, Doctor.
Yes.
You stay here, Elwood.
Mr. Dowd, let me give you this chair. Let me give you this cigar. Is there anything else I can get for you, Mr. Dowd?
What did you have in mind?
Mr. Dowd, what kind of a man are you? Where do you come from?
Didn't I give you one of my cards?
And where on the face of this tiny old earth did you find a thing like him?
The Harvey the Puka?
Is it true that he has a function? That he...
Gets advance notice? I'm happy to say it is. Harvey is versatile. Harvey can stop clocks.
What?
You've heard that expression, his face would stop a clock.
Yes, but why? To what purpose?
Harvey says that he can look at your clock and stop it, and you can go away as long as you like, with whoever you like, and go as far as you like. And when you come back, not 1 minute will tick by.
And does he do this for you?
He's willing to at any time, but so far I haven't been able to think of any place I'd rather be. I always have a wonderful time just where I am, whoever I'm with. I'm having a fine time with you right now, Doctor. Corona, Corona.
I know where I am.
Where?
Akron.
Akron?
There's a cottage camp outside of Akron, and a grove of maple trees. Cool, green, beautiful.
My favorite trees.
I would go there with a young, beautiful woman. A
Under a tree?
I wouldn't even want to know her name. I would just be Mr. Brown.
Now, why wouldn't you want to know her name? You might be acquainted with the same people.
I would send out for cold beer, and I would tell her things that I've never told anybody in my life. Things that are locked in here. And then I would send out for more cold beer.
No whiskey?
Beer is better.
Maybe under a tree, but she might like a highball.
I wouldn't even let her talk to me. As I talked to her, I would want her to reach out a soft white hand and stroke my head and say, "Poor thing, oh, you poor, poor thing."
How long would you like this to go on?
2 weeks.
Wouldn't that get monotonous? Just acrid beer and poor thing for 2 weeks?
No. No, I'm not.
I can't help but feel like you're making a mistake and not allowing that woman to talk. If she gets around at all, she may have picked up some very interesting little news items. And I'm sure you're making a mistake with all that beer and no whiskey. But it's your 2 weeks.
Cold beer napkin and one last fling. God, man.
Do you think you might like to lie down for a while?
No. Tell me, Mr. Dowd. Could he? Would he do this?
He could. He might. I've never heard Harvey say a word against Adam. By the way, Doctor, where is Harvey?
Why? Don't you know?
Last time I saw him, he was with you.
Ah,
Oh, he's probably waiting for me down at Charlie's.
that's right. He's out at Charlie's.
Excuse me, Doctor.
No, Mr. Dowd, you mustn't go with me.
I couldn't leave without saying goodbye to my friend Dr. Sanderson.
Mr. Dowd, Dr. Sanderson is not your friend. None of those people are your friends. I am your friend.
Thank you, Doctor, and I'm yours.
And his sister of yours, she's behind this whole conspiracy against you. She had commitment papers drawn from you today. She's trying to persuade you to lock you up. She has your power of attorney, the key to your safety box, and she brought you all the way out here today.
My sister did all that in one afternoon? Vita is certainly a world.
God, man, having any righteous indignation.
Dr. Troy, my mother used to say, in this world, Elwood, she always called me Elwood. She'd say, in this world, Elwood, you must be, oh, so smart, or, oh, so pleasant. For years, I was smart. I recommend pleasant. You may quote me.
Just the same, and I will protect you if you have to commit your sister. Would you like me to do that?
No, Doctor. Not unless Vito wanted it that way. Oh, not that you don't have a nice place out here, but I just think Vito would be happier at home with me and Harvey and Myrtle. Man, Miss Kelly! Diviner Grace has never planned this enchanting face. Ovid's Fifth Elegy. My dear, you will never look perfect.
And I'll never feel better, Mr. Dad. I just know it. Mwah.
Wow.
Yes, Doctor.
I wonder if I would be able to remember any more of that poem.
Say, maybe that rabbit gag is a good one. Kelly never kissed me.
Ovid has always been my favorite poet.
Okay, pal. You're discharged. This way out.
Wilson, let go of that man.
What?
Apologize to Mr. Dowd.
Apologize to this guy? With the rabbit?
Apologize. Apologize.
I apologize. This is the door.
If I leave, I'll remember.
Just a minute, Mr. Dowd. Do women often come up to you and kiss you like Miss Kelly did just now?
Every once in a while.
Yes?
I encourage it to.
To hell with decency. I've got to have that rabbit. Go ahead, Doc.
Dr. Sanderson, I couldn't leave without first
Just a moment, Doctor. Do you agree with my diagnosis?
Yes, call them over.
Thank you, Doctor. Dr. Chumley wants you all out of here for a moment. Please step in.
Is it settled?
I find that I concur with Dr. Sanderson.
Thank you, Doctor.
It's wonderful. What a relief.
Good boy. Let's celebrate. I've got some new bars listed at the back of this book.
This injection triggers a violent reaction. We can't give it to him without his consent. Will he give it?
Of course he will. If I ask him.
To give up this rabbit? I doubt it.
Don't ask him, just give it to him.
Bessie's barn dance, Flongy's chicken in, better late than never. Oh, Benny's driving.
Elwood,
We'll go to Benny's driving. We should telephone for a team. How many people will we be, Vito?
who Elwood?
Mr. Dow, I have a Formula 977, and I believe it will be good for you. Will you take it?
Elwood, you won't see this rabbit anymore.
But you will see your responsibilities and your duties and your
Well,
rights.
I'm sure if you thought of it, Doctor, it must be a very fine thing. And if I happen to run into anybody who needs it, I'll be glad to recommend it. For myself, I wouldn't care for it.
You hear that, Judge? You hear that, Doctor? That's what we have to put up with.
Vito, do you want me to take this thing?
Elwood, I'm only thinking of you. You're my brother, and I've known you for years. I'd do anything for you. That Harvey wouldn't do anything for you. He's making a fool of you, Elwood. Don't be a fool.
Oh, I won't.
Why, you could amount to something. You could be sitting on the Western Front waterboard right now if you only go over and ask them.
All right, Vito. If that's what you want, Harvey and I will go over and ask them tomorrow.
Tomorrow? I never want to see another tomorrow. Now that Myrtle May and I have to live in the house with that rabbit. Our friends never come to see us. We have no social life. We have no life. We're both miserable. I wish I were dead, but maybe you don't care.
I've always wanted Vita to have everything she wants. Vita, are you sure? I'll take it. Where do I go, Doctor?
Into Dr. Sanderson's office, Mr. Dow.
Say goodbye to the old fellow for me, won't you?
How long will this take, Doctor?
It should only take a few minutes. Why don't you all wait out here?
We'll wait.
Dr. Sanderson said it wouldn't take long. No, Mother, don't fidget. Oh, how can I help it? How stunning. Mother, could you see me in a house coat of this material? Yes, dear, but let me get a good night's sleep first.
Come in. What do you want?
Hi there. I'm looking for a little short. Oh, there you are. Lady, you jumped out of the cab without paying me.
Oh, yes, I forgot. I'm sorry. How much is it?
All the way out here from town, $2.75.
$2.75. I could have sworn I brought my coin purse. Where is it? Myrtle, do you have any money? I spent the money Uncle Elwood gave me on my new hairdo for the party. Judge Daphne, do you have $2.75 I could give this man?
Sorry, nothing but a check.
We don't take checks.
No.
Dr. Chumley, do you happen to have $2.75 I could borrow to pay this cab driver?
I have it down the wall, and no time to get it out. I have to get on with this injection. Sorry.
Well, I'll get it for you from my brother, but I can't get it right now. He's in there to get an injection. It won't be long. You'll have to wait.
Your brother's got my money, and he's in there to get some of that stuff to shoot on you?
Yes, but it won't be
Don't be too long, Mr. Dowd.
Elwood, I came off without my coin purse. Could you give this man $2.75? But don't give him any more, he's been very rude.
How do you do? Dad is my name. Elwood P.
Lawford's mine, EJ.
I'm happy to know that. This is my sister, Mrs. Simmons, my charming little niece, Myrtle May Simmons, Judge Gaffney, and Dr. Chumley.
Hi.
Have you lived around here long, Mr. Lawford?
Yeah, I've lived here my whole life.
Do you enjoy your work?
It's okay. I've been driving for Apex Cab for nearly 15 years. My brother Joe's been driving for Browns for 12.
You drive for Apex and your brother Joe for Crown. That's interesting, isn't it, Vita? Mr. Lawford, let me give you one of my cards.
You'll get on with this, Mr. Dowd.
Sir, 1 minute. My sister and my charming little niece live with me here at this address. Won't you and your brother come out for dinner sometime?
Sure, be glad to.
When? When would you be glad to?
Couldn't do it any other night but Tuesday. I'm on duty all the rest of the week.
You must come out on Tuesday then. We'll expect you and be glad to see you, won't we, Vita?
Elwood, I'm sure this man has friends of his own.
Vita, one can't have too many friends.
Elwood, don't keep Dr. Chumley waiting. That's rude.
Of course. Here you are. Keep the change. I'm glad to have met you, and I'll expect you on Tuesday with your brother. Will you excuse me now?
Sure. A nice guy.
Certainly. You could have just as well waited.
Oh, now listen, lady. I've been driving this for 15 years. Borrowed up to get the stuff and drove it back after they got it. It changes them.
Well, I certainly hope so.
And you ain't kidding. On the way out here, they sit back and talk to me. Look at the sunset and watch the birds flying by. Sometimes we watch the birds when there ain't no birds. Look at the sunset when it's raining. Point is, we have a swell time, and I always get a big tip. But afterwards, oh,
But afterwards, what do you mean afterwards?
they trap. They don't even watch the lights, watch the brakes, watch the intersection. They got no faith in me or my buggy. Yet it's the same cab, same driver, going over the very same road. And no tips.
Well, my brother would have tipped you anyways. He's very generous, always has been.
Not after this, he won't be. Lady, after this, he'll be a perfectly normal human being. And you know what bastards they are. Glad I met you. Oh, wait.
Oh, Judge Gaffney! Myrtle May! Stop it! Stop the injection! I don't want it to happen! Come out of there!
Chumley's giving me an injection.
I don't want it to happen! I don't want it that way! I don't like people like that! I'll do something with a dog! Stop it! You shut up! I've lived longer than you! I remember my father! I remember your father! I remember...
What's this? What's all this commotion?
What's the trouble, Doctor? She's sounding off again.
She wants to stop the injection.
You haven't already given it to him, have you?
No, but we're ready. Mr. Wilson, get Mrs. Simmons out of here.
Leave me alone! Get your hands off me, you barbarian!
You don't know what you want. You didn't want that crap either.
And what's wrong with Harvey? If Elwood and Myrtle May and I want to live with Harvey, it's nothing to you. It's our business. You don't even have to come around. Elwood!
There, Vita's. Vita's all tired out. She's done a lot today.
Have it your own way. I'm not leaving my game at the club again, no matter how big the annual is.
Come on, Elwood. Let's get out of here. I hate this place. I wish I'd never seen it.
Now, see you.
It's whatever Vita says, Doctor.
Why? Look at this. I must have been there all the time. I could have paid that cab driver myself. Harvey. Come along, Myrtle May. Come on, Elwood. Hurry up.
Good night, Dr. Chumley. Good night, Mr. Wilson.
Come along, Elwood.
Doctor, for years, I've known what my family thinks of Harvey, but I've often wondered what Harvey's family thinks of me. Oh,